Hello everybody, I am AngryBird. We're back once again with a Steel Division 2 League cast. We are hitting up group number 2. We have Kato.ZZ or Kato.ZZ, and we have Xirucaire. Hopefully they're pronounced correctly. On the left hand side in blue we have Kato.ZZ, that's what we'll call him, and we have him playing as 25th Panzergren Vanguard Income. He is up against Xirucaire on the right hand side in red, playing Gruppe Turin with Maverick Income. So difference in income there, Vanguard versus Maverick. 25th Panzergren on the ground again. They are definitely well favoured in this Steel Division League. So looking at Kato's deck, let's have a look. He has a few of the recon vehicles in A phase, not going too heavy on those vehicles, and I don't see any of them placed down at the moment. Just looks like infantry placed down at the start. He has the Vanguard Income, so I'd expect him to try and push early. He has the A, B and C phase Stugs, although interestingly they are 2-star vetted, so reducing the number slightly, and it'll be interesting whether there are enough tanks with those Stugs to take on Gruppe Turin, and I think that could be an interesting question. I feel like potentially there are not enough Stugs there for Kato to rely on. He does have the Pack 40s in A phase and B phase, along with the Pack 43s in B phase as well, although those Pack 43s kind of overkill against Turin, not 100% needed. And he also has the A and B phase anti-tank planes, so maybe he will need those to supplement his Stugs really. So his Stugs can concentrate on taking out the enemy infantry and the planes can take out the enemy tanks. Let's have a look at Xirucaire's deck. So he has the BA-10Ms in A phase, interestingly, not seen often, and from the looks of it, barely enough infantry at all. So this is a Maverick deck, but no C phase infantry whatsoever, and barely any A and, well, enough A phase infantry, but I think it's just the lack of C phase infantry that is just completely throwing me off. So certainly if Kato makes it to C phase, surely the lack of infantry is going to massively hurt Xirucaire. He has a hell of a lot of tanks though. What's that? 36 T-34s in B phase. And I think it was what? 6 Stugs? Let's just have a look back at Kato's deck. Yep, I think that's 6 Stugs in B phase, so 36 T-34s versus 6 Stugs. I have a feeling Xirucaire is going heavy, and I mean heavy, on those T-34s, especially with the lack of infantry. I feel like it's going to be T-34 hell for Kato.ZZ. He also has a fair bit of anti-tank there. He's got the 2 M42 guns, which certainly they're double vetted as well, so they can do some decent work against those Stugs. They potentially, I mean, they could do with a side shot rather than a frontal shot, but with the accuracy gained from the double vet, they will certainly be very good units. And then we have the PE3 in A phase and in the 2 in B phase as well that can take on those Stugs. So I feel like this is going to be the difference. If Xirucaire can, you know, spam out those T-34s, and Kato, if he can't deal with those T-34s, he is going to have a real tough game in this matchup. Right, let us have a look at the deployment. So let's remind ourselves, Kato.ZZ on the left hand side in blue, and we have Xirucaire playing Group 2 on the right hand side in red. Let's have a quick look at the units. So Kato, he is bringing in a couple of the SBW 231s in the southern area, along with a Pak 3850 and some Stormtrooper and Flammenwerf. So potentially this southern side, maybe he's looking for an early push. Be interesting to see whether that happens. This map, Xirucaire, murdering the pronunciation. Yeah, this map is really interesting because players this can go many ways. Generally, you know, lots of players focus on the town. There are a lot of points there, but you cannot underestimate pushers against these flanks, because they can certainly catch someone off guard if they're focusing on totally on the town and the enemy player just pushes through with a flank attack on one or either side. It can completely throw the players off guard. I find if we're looking at the right hand side of the map, I find it's much easier to attack this northern point than it is to attack this southern point, and on the left hand side I find it much easier to defend this northern point and attack through on this southern side. That's just my observations from the map, but certainly a hell of a lot of flags in the centre, so if you try and push the flanks and you just leave the centre fairly undefended, then you can get rolled over, and the amount of flags here mean that this central point can be a massive make or break for both players. So let's have a look at Xirucaire. It looks like only a light force, very defensive in the south from the looks of it. 3 T-34s already being placed down to go into that central town. A hell of a lot of Xirucaire, the snipery there as well. Faustniki and Xirucaire Comrotti in the rear, and what's this up north? We do have another T-34 as well, although not many units, so again looks like a defensive force. So Xirucaire targeting that central area. This will be interesting how the income plays out as well, because Vanguard versus Maverick income, very strange matchup. We don't see it often, Vanguard versus Maverick. It's usually one or the other. If they're going to go Vanguard or Maverick, they tend to pick the same income choice as each other, or you know, they pick a balanced income. I feel like Vanguard, it has the early advantage, and obviously Maverick then has the B phase advantage, but then gets worse in C phase. It's we really don't see this income matchup often, and it's going to be really interesting. If I'm honest, I feel like Maverick income against Vanguard, possibly Maverick at a slight disadvantage, because Maverick, you really rely on pushing in phase A and phase B, and you want the game over by the end of phase B, or you know, very short into phase C, because that phase C income of 80 is really a struggle. But Maverick coming up against Vanguard, it doesn't have the advantage in A phase, then it has the advantage in B phase, but you have to work back against that disadvantage in A phase, so it's going to be interesting. Let's have a look. Yes, Kato, he's going to be pushing in that southern area. Xirucaire defending both the flanks. He's putting a hell of a lot of units into this central area, but he isn't really pushing. A couple of, they're probably Ognomachikis going in very far forwards, but he isn't pushing there, so both sides are kind of looking to hold the centre ground. Xirucaire is going to look to hold in A, I think, and really push with those T-34s in B. I think the interesting start to this match will be this southern side, and look at that, the Xirucaire Comrotti unloading extremely early. Nothing coming in from Kato in that northern side, so it's going to be this southern, I think, push. We've got an early commandant coming out from Kato, so this southern push could really put Xirucaire on the back foot. We've also got the engagement coming in the centre. The Faustniki and Ognomachikis coming up against the Flammenwerfers. Who's going to get first opportunity? The Faustniki unload and take an early advantage against the Flammenwerfers, but they come back strong. Nice little micro there, moving the Falsniki out of cover, and it looks like Kato is probably... Is he going to win out on this matchup? I think no, sort of equals sight. Load of wounded and sight damage from the M42, but will it now go down faced? Yes, it will go down faced with the 5 of the SPW 231s. It needed to take that first one down, and they're pushing very aggressively forwards. Kato looking to dominate this southern side. The Stoss troop going to move through the forest and pick up kills against the Ognamachiki. The Pioneer Fiora just behind perfectly. The Sapari and Strelky DP. These Strelky DP could prove difficult with the PTRD anti-tank rifles. He needs to, Xirucaire needs to take out these SPWs. If he does so, there's not enough of a challenge, I feel, from Kato with these Stoss troop and the Flammenwerfers to beat off the Strelky and the Sapari. It's going to be interesting. So 2 T-34s coming in, and as long as this infantry doesn't go down for Xirucaire, it's a good response. Those T-34s can really hold up as well against the SPWs. One of the SPWs goes down, the other is transmission destroyed, loader wounded, and sight damaged. I think Kato is in trouble with this attack. He does pin down one of the Sapari units, but the Strelky Comrotti is there. He's going to resist the surrender, and those Flammenwerfers, I don't feel like they're enough to do the job against the Strelky DP. It's very tight on this southern attack, very tight. Interesting choice for the mortar. I think that's really going to hurt these infantry units, but I think Xirucaire maybe needs 1-2 more infantry units to come in, especially with these Panzergrens coming in now. Both sides in the centre, the kind of duel of the Falsniki and Ognamachikis, they've ended. Both sides have lost units and are kind of happy to hold ground. ZZ using a hell of a lot of infantry to push through and hold that northern flag. It's all down to the southern side. So the Flammenwerfers and Stoss trooping are pushing forwards and do go down now to the Strelky Comrotti there, I believe. Just managed to finish them off. The T-34-76s have come in, and it's kind of just in time. The Panzergrens to reinforce have come forward as well, but this Panzerschreck has to do a lot of work to hold off the 2 T-34-76s. The M37 mortar unit coming in, and yes, now more infantry coming in for Xirucaire, and I feel like he's going to be able to hold this southern side with that reinforcing Sapari infantry. I think this Panzerschreck, if it can kill the T-34-76, Kato's still in with a chance. The gun jam, that's good enough. It's going to give him the opportunity to get the second shot in. The Panzergrens pushing forwards. Xirucaire reversing the gun jammed T-34, but the Panzerschreck did its job, but now goes down to the Strelky DPs, and they should not be able to. Yeah, they do get pinned down in the face of 3 Panzergrens, four Panzergrens squads, but Stug 3G coming in now, and that's a decent unit for Kato. He needs to take out these T-34s, and that Stug can do it. Oh, wow. So it got the incendiary, but then immediately went down to the reply from the T-34-76, and that really hurts Kato. It really hurts Kato. He has the infantry here, but he has no anti-tank right now. These T-34-76s are happy to just take on the infantry support role, and I feel like, wow, we've got a WC-52 off map it came into the centre and it's repositioning down south. That could deal a heavy blow to a lot of these infantry units. And phase A, wow, Kato's got the 1410. He's now picked up this sort of second flag in the south. The M3782mm is coming in and starting to do its work against the infantry. We're midway through phase A, and I feel like Kato has not pushed through this southern side as much as he would have wanted by this time. The Sapari versus Pioneer duel, the Sapari win that one out, and they will take this very southern forest under its control, although getting pinned down by its own mortar fire. So it can happen, it can happen. Strelky's coming in, another T-34-76 coming in to reinforce. The Pak 38-58 slowly making its way up, and I feel like these two at the back as well, the RG-18 and the Pak 38, they could have made their way up by now and also been helping Kato out. He's got the two Flak 38s there, so he's anticipating air attack strikes, but this WC-52 KAO off map could do a hell of a lot of damage in this southern side. Again, both sides still holding those central and northern positions. It's all coming down to this southern side. The off map coming down, although it's a fairly weak off map. I think it's 152 mil. It doesn't show as the card. It may, I think actually it may be 76.2 millimeter off map, but doing enough. I feel it's heavily stressed out a lot of the units. The SDKFZ gets gun jammed by the M42, and this M42 is kind of replaced the original one, and it's now in a very nice position to just fire down at any units advancing above this hill. And the 3 T-34s here now are going to do a hell of a job against all of this infantry. None of it with AT. The Pak 38-50 is the only real unit. Wow, no, we've got a Panzerschreck moving around the sort of north area. That could get a shot off against the T-34-76 and could at least get Kato back into this matchup. He's got it on a move order though, and I think he's going to lose out here because he didn't have that on an attack move order. Potentially he lost out there. The Pak 38-50 does the job though, takes out that northern, well, that T-34-76 up in the northern area as we look at it now. The KAO, I'm sure it will come in with another strike, probably on this northern side here. And planes coming in as well. The Yak 9T coming in. Not exactly sure whether there was a plane from Kato, and we're back to 12-12. Xirucaire has managed to reinforce this southern side, and against a Vanguard income, that's a hell of a recovery. And looking at the units here, it really feels like Xirucaire has got the units in here. He's stunted the attack of Kato, and there's not, you know, he has the Panzergrens and Pioneers, but there's no anti-tank. And the Panzerschreck is, yeah, it goes down. It does get the engine damage on the T-34-76, but there's just not the units here to take on these T-34-76ers, and Kato's gonna struggle. He's now having to sort of fall back. I don't think he's going to be able to push up here again. Maybe all hopes rest on this final Stug coming in, but a Stug against what, three T-34-76ers and an M42, that's a tough ask. Xirucaire pushing forward the T-34-76, and you can see there's not a lot here surrounding these infantry from Kato. Kato did briefly go up to the 14-10, but he's not going to hold that with these surrounded Pioneers. Even though they take out the unit there, as long as this, the T-34-76 does get crew killed, I suspect it was the IG-18 here with the heat shells that crew killed that T-34-76. And these Pioneers still behind enemy lines. And look at this, 3 more T-34-76s as well as another off map coming into the centre. It looks like Xirucaire's ordered more Sturmoviki LPOs. It looks like he's preparing a push in that centre area, and he's got to be happy so far that he's held the 12-12. A phase is over, B phase has begun. Xirucaire has the point advantage, and he is reacting perfectly, setting up this central push. We've got a couple of anti-tank units coming in, but I don't think it's going to be enough to hold off against the T-34s. These T-34s, I feel like they're going to overwhelm Kato. His Stugs have to do exceptional work to take on these T-34s. Let's have a look at this engagement. The T-34 got the first shot off, but the Stug replied with the crew panic. But that T-34 is able to reverse out the way, so may well live another day. The Stug backing off again now, and the Panzergrenz engaging the Strelky DP at range. But so far, Kato is stuck at this hill. He's not able to push back into the town, and Sturmoviki's coming in, and these are beefy units. Or sorry, I was thinking they were Strafniki then. The Sturmovikis, they have the TNT. They're like up vetted or more experienced sappery. Let's have a look. They have the 7 PPSH and the DP machine gun as well as the TNTs. Do we have a sappery on the field? There, whereas the sappery, they have the SVTs. So the Sturmovikis very much close range with the PPSH and the TNTs. So the Panzergrenz, they keep pushing forwards, but then they keep getting pinned down and they keep having to retreat. And Kato, he's kind of he's hit a brick wall. And look at this, the charge of the T-34s have begun. They're pushing forwards across the centre, and look, no anti-tank here, the off-map coming down as well. This is fantastic play from Xirucaire. And how is Kato going to stand up to this push? He has one Stug 3G and a Panzerschreck. It's just not going to be enough. The Pak 3850 is not in a fantastic position. Wow, another 3 T-34s, another 3 T-34s. This, I feel like Xirucaire is going to roll over Kato right now. If this Stug 3G doesn't take out a hell of a lot of T-34s, Kato is going to go down. And wow, no, it wasn't the commandant. It wasn't the commandant. It was obviously a Fury unit there. For a moment, I thought that was the commandant that had gone down. Another 2 T-34s getting ordered. More Xirucaires. So finally, the Stug has got into a position. Does take out one, but there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the vicinity. So the Panzerschreck getting the driver kill on another T-34. These two units have got to do so much work. The Panzerschreck does take down that T-34 as well, but there's still a hell of a lot remaining here, and they're just rolling over these Stoss troops and Panzergrenz. This central side is going to collapse, and Kato is bringing in another Stug, but it's slow. It is slow to get there, and these Panzergrenz, they aren't going to get there soon either. The T-34-76 now engaging the Stoss troop. They're going to go down as well. The Sturmoviki LPOs, if they got the double flamethrowers. Yes, the double. Well, there'd be Rock's flamethrowers now, but yeah, they're progressing forwards, and PE3 coming in. Is it going to take out that Stug? If it does, that's going to be horrible. No, it doesn't quite manage to take out that Stug 3G. Kato, no air play to reply, although does bring in an SDKFZ 7-1. But look at these T-34s. They're just charging down the road. The Stug 3G does get sight damage and falling back by the T-34-76s. This Panzerschreck, it's not going to halt that entire charge, surely. It is in a fantastic spot though. Does get the driver kill, but surely it will go down now. Beautiful micro to just pull that back into the building while it reloads, and we'll get a second shot off. Bails out this T-34 as well. Beautiful micro again. Fantastic work by Kato, keeping this Panzerschreck alive, but you've got to. It cannot take out all what? 6 T-34s and more of them charging forwards. They're just desperate to take out this Panzerschreck. If they get rid of this Panzerschreck, there's nothing else in their way. The Panzerschreck coming back in again. Does take out this rear one. Microed out again, and are they now out of shells? They do finally go down. There's 2 Stug 3Gs left in the way of Xirucaire, but look at this. Absolute, complete control of this central area. He is 16-8 up. Kato is still stuck at this hill. He's still trying to push in, but wow, Xirucaire has just steamrolled the centre with these T-34-76s, and he's pushing into the back line. The 2 Stugs that were here, they've gone down as well. The Pak 38, the only thing left kind of controlling this sort of central southern route, but Panzergren's coming in here, the wrong units to bring in right now. I'm guessing he ordered them before these T-34s took out those Stugs, but he's going to have to rely on this ME-410 to take out so many T-34s. But I'm surprised the fighters aren't already pouring in from Xirucaire. Does take out one, but these T-34s just charging down the road. And look at this absolute control by Xirucaire. Su-85s coming in now that are probably going to set up defensive positions to just fire down on the reinforcements, but there's not going to be a hell of a lot of chance. The M410 coming in, artillery fire as well. Look at the micro coming down, takes out one, gun jams the other, but has to go back around. But there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 T-34s right behind it, and another 2 Su-85s on the way. Xirucaire is now bringing in the Zenart 37mm, and the M410 continues to circle, but 2 PaK-40s coming in as well. They'll probably take up position in these woods here, but even if Kato manages to take out these T-34s, he's got to push back into this central town. There's no way he's going to be able to do that. Another one goes down to the ME-410s, but now finally the Yak-9Ts, they're reloaded, they're refueled, they're rearmed, they're repaired, they're back into action. And will that 410 go down? They're going to ignore the fighters. They're going straight after that 410. They don't want any more T-34s to go down, and surely they're going to take it out now. 2 of them against that M410. No, they're going to overshoot, but they're still continuing. They're not retargeting onto this ME-109. As long as they take out that 410, the ME-109, it can't hurt the T-34s. So I understand why he's making this move. He needs to take out this 410. He does so. Now he's going to refocus onto the 109. The T-34 still all in there. The Su-85s coming in now. They're going to provide excellent supporting fire, but the Kato's just pegged back. He can't push forward until he takes out all of these tanks, and he can't take out these tanks with 1 PaK-40. He needs to bring in Stugs, but he just doesn't have enough of them. This southern side, he still has men behind enemy lines, but Xirucaire, he doesn't care. As long as he holds this flag, it doesn't matter to him. He's got this central position. He's even pushing from the centre up to the northern side, and he's going to take this flag as well. Potentially he could push even further if he gets that far. That Sturmoviki, not sure what happened there, but he is going to push in. Kato, he realises he's under threat there, but he's bringing in a hell of a lot of infantry, but he's not going to be able to stand up against the onslaught of the T-34s, and we've not even seen many of them compared to what is in Xiricaire's deck. And we're at the 8, I think that was a 19.5 briefly, we're now back to an 18.6. These Sturmovikis, they need to unload. He's given them another move forward. Okay, they do unload now, and even the Sturmoviki LPOs, as long as they don't get caught out at range, they can handle Panzergrens with the 2 LPO flamethrowers and the PPSH, so they can at least do a decent job of lasting up on that northern side. The LPOs here, they are now going to be discovered by the Pioneers. They will go down to the grenade of the Pioneers, I'm sure. Surely the LPOs will go down to the Pioneers grenade, although it doesn't look like he's able to get that fired. I'm not sure why they aren't releasing that frag grenade. Are they out? I can't quite see on my screen, it cuts off the bottom, but the Sturmovikis win that one out. Very surprised there, very surprised. The northern side, the Sturmovikis are discovered and they will be taken out at range. So yeah, Xirucaire microing backwards, trying to get them out of line of sight, but if they're left to engage at range, they will lose the battle. But yeah, Xirucaire, we're into C phase now. He's lost that B phase income, but he's investing heavily in 122mm mortars and, sorry, artillery pieces, and that's going to hurt. That is going to hurt Kato. The off-map strikes still coming down from this WC-52 KAO, and wow, Kato, this is this has been disastrous. I'm not sure these are the deck match up with these 2-star Stug 3Gs. I think he's gone for quality over quantity, whereas Xirucaire has gone for quantity, 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 and then he's ordered more T34s on top of that. But yeah, I don't think Kato, maybe if this summon push would have, you know, pushed through, he'd been able to take this summon side, then Xirucaire would have had to spend his B phase income fighting back instead of attacking in that central area. But Kato, he didn't manage that push in A phase. It was the 12-12 before the start of B phase, and Xirucaire, he could use that entire 180 points B phase income to just roll over the central ground. So more Pioneers coming in, and surely this time they will take out these Sturmovikis. Now the grenade goes in. I don't know what was happening there, whether that was a line of sight issue or a range issue or what, but those grenades, they didn't go off the first time. Finally the Sturmoviki go down, and Kato will recover a flag there. He's back to a 17-7. But yeah, P3's coming in, taking out one of the Stug 3Gs. The anti-air has gone down, and it's just a matter of time till Kato calls this quits, really. There is no way he is getting back into this game. So the mortars being used to pound this Panzergren. I think, wow, no, smoke coming down to protect this Sturmoviki from long distance attack, probably from the Pack 40 here. And this Sturmoviki are just going to roll over. There goes the towel. Kato calls it a night. Wow. That was a fantastic game by Xirucaire. Absolutely fantastic. And Kato, he is a great player. I believe he is now at the top of Group 2 as we speak. So for Xirucaire to pick up that game, it looked like an absolute walk in the park for him against Kato, who is a fantastic player, and I would expect will be in will be in Group 1, you know, fighting against the best of them, of the Here Roberts, the Gonzos, the Shawns, you know. For Xirucaire to just walk all over Kato like that, wow, Kato must have been having a real bad off day. Maybe it was the division pick. Well, not necessarily the division pick. Maybe it was the decks with those Stug 3Gs at 2 stars against the 36 T34s in B phase, and he had 6 Stug 3Gs. I mean, wow. So Xirucaire, 1,950 kills against 1,350 losses. So yeah, I mean the kill death, you know, ratio, Xirucaire is not like 1,000 points up. He's only 600 points up there, given it was a short game. But it wasn't like he absolutely demolished Kato's, you know, units. He just had so many more of them. I suppose that was the cheap price of those T34s, along with the B phase Maverick income. You know, it all combined, and Xirucaire, wow, waves of T34s pushing forwards. He certainly played the Russians well, that's for sure. He certainly played them well. Let's have a look at the kills for Xirucaire. So this Strelky DP did fantastically well in the early game. I believe this would have been in the south, potentially in that church tower. Held off well against the Stosstroop, the Flammenwerf, you know, and the Panzerschreck and the other Stosstroop. So he really stunted the push from Kato, and that hurt Kato at the start of the game. We had the T34s quickly reinforcing that kill against the Stug 3G. I think that was a one shot, one kill, if I remember right, against that Stug 3G. That hurt Kato as well. I mean, if that Stug 3G would have been able to push forward and just, you know, take up a decent position and fire on the reinforcements on that southern side, Kato's attack could have potentially have had more meat to it and really, you know, hurt Xirucaire, but wasn't to be. The Yak 9T coming in, taking out the ME410s. and the other Yak 90, you know, taking out that ME410, the two, believe they're the two tank busters and the fighter bomber, might be, I think that's right. Yeah, it's I think airplay wise, both players looked, you know, decent in the air, but I think obviously Kato, with the Stugs in the, you know, not having enough of them, he had to rely on those ME410 tank busters, and you know, he just couldn't deal with the numbers. He could not deal with the numbers. I mean, look at the T-34s. They're not taking out a hell of a lot of units, but you know, if there's so many of them that this one here takes out the STKFZ-71, that's a massive kill. You know, price-wise, that's a huge kill. And yeah, it's just the numbers. I mean, no outstanding units, just pure Russian numbers. And then on the losses, Kato, you know, that Pak 40 did a decent job. The Pak 40s would have done a fantastic job, but just so many T-34s. The ME410 circling for about 2, 3, 4 passes. Not sure exactly how many, but that took out 3. There was just too many T-34s. Xirucaire, he had that deck nailed down, and wow. T-34 spam, pure and utter T-34 spam. Fantastic game to watch. I really enjoyed casting this one. Congratulations to Xirucaire. Commiserations to Kato. He certainly was shown the door on this one, but he is at the top of Group 2, so I know he's a fantastic player. I'm sure we'll pick him up again in another cast, and we'll see him at his absolute best. And today may have been an off day, but then I don't want to take it away from Xirucaire as well. I mean, he played that game perfectly. He really did. Fantastic game to watch. Really enjoyed it. Thanks very much for joining me. I know we've been a little short on the videos lately. I've been working on a lot behind the scenes. I'm really excited. We've hit and massively surpassed 100 subscribers. I've not even had chance to do a little video to celebrate 100 subscribers. That's a huge thing for me. I didn't expect this soon to be having 100 subscribers. It doesn't sound like many, but to me it's a great deal, so I appreciate every single one of you that's subscribed. We've got a Discord set up now, and I spend quite a bit of time there chatting with the guys that are already in that Discord, so there's a link in the description. Join me in the Discord, let's chat about the games, and I am going to spoil other announcements as well. So I've set up a Patreon. That's going. I'm going to get links out everywhere. I'm going to do a little video discussing it in a bit more detail, but we have a Patreon set up now. And that's really been set up because I'd like to improve the quality of the videos that I'm providing you, or the content that I'm providing you. And I really want to upgrade my hardware so that I can, at the moment, I have to record in sort of medium/high. And I think another announcement, I'm starting Twitch streaming, so join me on Twitch soon. I'm hoping it will be this weekend. We'll see how it goes, but I feel like my hardware is going to start to struggle when I, you know, get into the Twitch streaming, and then I'm also recording hopefully at the same time. So I want to upgrade the quality of my hardware, and to do that, unfortunately, I can't afford it myself. I wish I could. I've just spent quite a bit of money upgrading my monitor setup to help, you know, provide better content, and it gets expensive. So any support that you could provide me with, I really appreciate it. And at the end of the day, it will improve the quality of the content that I'm able to provide you with. And also, I'm trying to provide you with, those that are able to support me, there'll be some pretty cool rewards. Hopefully you'll think they're cool as well. So I'll try and release, I plan on doing a video, you know, talking about this in more depth. I'm really trying to cover it very quickly because I don't want to take up more of your time. But yes, we are going to be starting Twitch streaming as well. But I promise you, we are not leaving YouTube behind. I cannot make any money on YouTube. I never will, because SD2 is too small of a community, too small of a game, and I love SD2, and I'm never going to leave it behind. Or, you know, unless you, Jim, move on to other stuff, and then we'll reevaluate. But I don't want to leave SD2 behind, but I can't upgrade my hardware just doing YouTube videos. So this is why I'm looking at Patreon and why I'm looking at Twitch and other avenues as well. But at the core of this channel is going to be Steel Division 2, and at the end of the day, all of the money will go into improving the hardware to improve the quality of YouTube videos that I'm able to provide, and they will be you shouldn't be seeing adverts on these videos, because I cannot earn any money off the adverts. You have to be at least 1,000 subscribers, and even then the view counts are so low that I'd be getting like 2 cents. You know, it's 2 cents 1,000 views. I don't even get 1,000 views, so I wouldn't even be getting a cent or a penny. Like, so I actually or hopefully you don't see any adverts, because I have a setting turned off to show adverts, so I don't show adverts on these videos, and I never will. I'm going off now. I want to cover this in a different video. I'm sorry. Thanks very much for joining me. Join me on the Discord. Get the link from the description. Join me on the Discord. You'll see all the plans. I'll start to release them there. The Discord is where I'm going to be focusing a hell of a lot of my time chatting to you guys, and so join me on that Discord. Thank you for watching. If you've not subscribed, subscribe so you don't miss any content. Hopefully we'll get another cast this week. We'll see how it goes, because I'm having to spend a lot of time setting up the other stuff behind the scenes. If we do, join me for that. I am AngryBird. I will see you very, very soon.